Okay, so as you can see on the screen, guys, I wanted to answer this question and give you my thoughts on it because I thought it was really interesting. So I saw this article in Quora which said, my goal for 2022 is to make $4,000 in this particular case per month working independently. How do I achieve it without any skills? So I wanted to, as I say, I wanted to give some thoughts on this. I thought it was a really good question, actually. Firstly, let me start off by asking you guys if you want to help me reach my goal of 2022 by June, which is to hit 1,000 subscribers. Please, can you like and subscribe to my channel? By liking this video, it helps the algorithm and gets people to actually see more of this video. So I'd really appreciate it. Right, okay, let's get into it. So he wants to know if he can make by 2022 £4,000 per month working independently and how we can do that without achieving a skill. So firstly, let me say that I think this is I think it's a really great thing that you're even asking you have the ambition. So ambition is what I want to talk about. Firstly, I think it's absolutely fantastic that you even have the ambition to want to achieve £4,000, right? I cannot tell you the amount of people who I reach, who I come across, who have no idea about what they want. And I'm talking about guys who are in their 30s, guys who are in their late 20s, guys who are in their 40s and 50s. They have no idea about what they want. They have no idea about what they want to achieve. They have no idea about what direction they want to go in. They are wandering, right? They're like a boat out in the middle of the ocean and they're just going everywhere. So the fact that you actually know what you want, you've put a date on it, so you know you want to achieve it in 2022, you're specific about how much you want to earn, which is £4,000. That right there in itself, I think is a great thing. So firstly, let me start off by saying that. Second thing that I would say is you have okay, now I'm going to get level with you here and I'm going to be completely honest with you. You have a major problem. Because the major problem that you have is in the second part that you've said, which is how do I achieve it without any skills? In trying to say this, number one, this tells me that you already know that the foundation of success, or rather one of the foundations, one of the keys to success or sustaining success is that you need skills. You need a foundation which you can layer, you can build the rest of that success on, right? Because so you understand that, and my issue, and you need to really take note of this, is that you now are saying, by acknowledging that, is that you're saying that you want to basically try to get to where you want to get to by breaking laws, by not following the basics, by taking corners, by not doing the work. And the fundamental problem that you got with that is you may get to achieve it. You may find it, you may be able to do it, but here's the problem, it's a fluke. So you won't be able to actually sustain it because you won't know how you've done it. This is the problem that I have with anyone who says that they want to win the lottery, anyone who is on Sky Bet, anyone who involves themselves with any level of gambling, because the issue that you have is that you then don't have a foundation for how you've achieved that. You don't know how you did it. To earn £4,000 is a very, 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 very difficult thing to do. Why? Because most people don't earn £4,000. I know very few people who earn £4,000 per month. That's a lot of money. Now, I know couples who earn that kind of money, but I don't know individual people who earn £4,000. That's a huge amount of money. So to be able to earn that without having a skill means that you're going to have to take a route which is not legit. Now, let me say to you, there are ways to earn £4,000 without a skill. There are. Here's the problem. They're not going to build the character which you need. Many of us, we don't understand that there is a importance in the journey. That actually who you're becoming, what you're learning is much more important than what you eventually get. And part of that is life is so turbulent, life is so uncertain that I try to say this that if you don't know the principles and have built a really strong foundation, you're always going to fail. You're always going to go up and then come back down. You're always going to be shaken. It's like there's that story where it says two really good people wanted to build houses. One of them built their house on sand, and one of them built their house on rocks. When no, one of them built their house with sand, and the other one built their house with rocks. When the winds came, and the tornadoes came, and the tide came in, the one who had built the sand house, their house was washed away, and the one who had built a rocky house had stayed intact. Here was the principle and the lesson of this story. Good people can make foolish mistakes, right? It is possible to be a really good person and mess up and fuck up and make really bad choices. I know people who are really good people who have a perfect missus, but then they go and have an affair with a different girl. They're really good people, but that right there has now caused for them to go through a divorce, right? I know really good people who smoke, who do illegal stuff, who engage themselves in all kinds of crimes, but they're actually really good people. And so if you want to try to avoid that and you want to try to stay intact with that, you have to not take shortcuts. It is so easy, particularly when you're younger or where you're in deficit, to try and take a shortcut. But I can assure you, it never works, right? Anytime you achieve something without it being really difficult, without it being arduous, without you failing, without you having setbacks, I promise you that when you get there, you will never truly feel like a winner. In fact, this is actually one of the things that shocked me. I talk about what I call inconvenient truths, right? Inconvenient truths are things that I've learned that I didn't want to hear. And when I was studying people who are the highest levels of life, so I'm talking about multimillionaires, people who are successful in every area. They have a fit missus, they have a nice house, they have properties rented out, they have a great income, they have great looks, they have great connections, they get to travel around the world. These are great people. I could not believe that one of the biggest fears that these people had is, can I do it again? And I was like, why would somebody fear that when they have everything in life? It is because this fear comes about if you haven't set a foundation. In fact, I have what I call the 6 stages of life. The 6 stages of life are survival, security, freedom, mastery, contribution and pioneering, and self-actualization. A lot of people stick and remain at what I call freedom. Okay, what this means, I've gone crazy. Security. And the reason is because when you have had nothing and you worked really hard to gain something, in order to go from security to freedom, you have to have, the key word that I put in there is risk. You have to risk something, right? And a lot of people, the reason why they can't go to freedom to then mastery is because they don't want to risk anything. They've worked so hard that if they try, this is actually, let me use an example of what I mean by this. Imagine you've never had a girlfriend, you finally managed to get a girlfriend, you're now in this relationship with this girl, the issue is you now simp to her. You say yes to everything, you can't say no to her. Everything in your life is revolved around her, right? If she says you shouldn't go out with the lads, you don't go out with the lads. If she says that she wants to go on holiday to Ibiza, you pay for her to go on holiday to Ibiza. Instead of both of you working together to build a vision for your life, where sometimes you may have to say no to your missus. A lot of guys can't say no to their other partner, to their other half. Why? Because they're simping. Why? Because they haven't built up that strong sense of self and a strong foundation, which they say, do you know what? If she can't agree with, we can't work together and agree with where we want to go, it's not worth it for me, right? This is much more important. Being a contributor in the community, following my visions and and things that are important to me are a lot more important than a woman who's trying to drag me away from that, right? So it's really, really, really important that you don't get distracted by trying to achieve this. So now let's go into how can you achieve it. I would say to you, you need to skill up. In fact, I would say to you, actually, before you even skill up, what I would actually do if I was in your shoes, and we're talking about me as Kasim, if I was in your shoes, I would go and find a company to work for part time, and then I would spend the rest of my time on the part time on the weekend working on whatever something that I very strongly believed in. So, for example, to use a perfect example, me, right? I work for Gillette, so I spend the majority of my week and my day working for Gillette because I have to pay my rent, I have to pay the basic bills, I have to take care of stuff. And then the other time, I spend it on this. I spend doing these videos, I spend time researching, I spend time writing books, doing articles. That's what I spend the rest of my time doing. So at the moment, I don't make very much money. But the great thing about it is, in terms of the coaching, and actually at the same time, I'm also studying to become a counselor, right? So I have this side life, which at the moment isn't huge, but in 2, 3, 4, 5 years is going to accumulate to such a degree that I don't no longer have to work for Gillette full time. Jim Rohn called it the magic of part time. Start part time, right? Because you don't have enough credibility, enough of reputation, enough of what do you call it, momentum to be able to go full time. There's just basically, unless you're highly educated or you've got a skill, there is no way you're going to go into a job where you're earning £4,000, right? You're not going to be able to sustain it. Because to earn £4,000 requires a certain mindset, requires certain skill set, requires certain disciplines to be able to earn that level of amount of money. If I'm telling you guys, and this is very, very, very difficult for men, if you are, my rule is, if it's not going to be difficult, if it's not going to be hard, if I'm not going to suffer in order to make that kind of money, then something isn't right. And if somebody is prepared to give you a huge amount of money and you're not exchanging something which is really meaningful or something which is very difficult, this is a red flag. I'm telling you guys that no matter where you go around the world, nobody gives money away for free. Nobody does. No one. There's no such thing as somebody who gives money away for free without wanting something in return. It just doesn't exist. And this particularly happens for money. There's other areas where people will give you something for free, but like food, some people will genuinely give you food for free, right? But I'm telling you that when it comes to money, people do not give money away for free. Like I was saying to somebody the other day who wanted to get involved in the pyramid scheme, I said to him, listen, I know that you think you're going to be making a lot of money, but the issue that you have is that pyramid schemes are designed not for your benefit. They're designed for the people who started them, right? Those people do not care about you because how they get paid is that you have to recruit other people. The more people you recruit, the more money they get paid. Because not only are they getting paid on your money, but they're getting paid on all the people who you recruit's money, right? You're only getting paid on the money that you make and the money that you're being recruited. So it's not, I know you think that you're free and you think that you're making a little money, but you're not. So that's what I would say to you. Focus on number one, finding a job where you can have some stability. I know that there is this rhetoric which says, oh, you should just go all in. Do not go all in. Whoever says that to you is a fool and hasn't done it. Do not follow that. Do the magical part-time. Do your full-time job. Have stability, okay? Because there's nothing more fearful and nothing that will create more paranoia and more panic than not being able to pay your rent. Settle that area, and it then leaves loads of time for you to focus on your passion, to refine it, to focus on an area which you actually want to add value to people. I do this. This is a key. This is how you know what you should work part-time on. Are you willing to do it without anyone paying you? I do these videos not because anyone's paying me. I do them because I want to add value to you. I want you to get better. I want you to move from a sheep mentality to a lion mentality. I want you to be the king of your life. I want you to be the alpha of your life instead of being a victim of your life, instead of being the beta of your life. I want you to become your highest, fullest expression of who you're capable of becoming, however you define that to be for yourself. And for me, I truly remember I've spent the last 7 years studying people who've started with nothing and I've built lives. I've built incredible lives. And what I'm telling you, that there is no way to do it properly and sustain it. The key word is here: sustain it. It is actually good. It's possible to fluke it and win, but you won't be able to sustain it. So my recommendation to you is, there is no way to be able to do it without setting a good foundation and it taking a long time. So find whatever. Here's the other thing as well, actually, whilst we're on this. If you want to know what you should focus on as your side passion or your side hustle, focus on whatever it is that makes you angry. What makes you angry? What frustrates you? I wish people would do this properly. I wish people knew this. Whatever that is, that's where your passion lies. That's where you can add value. Okay? And all you have to do is just start. Start wherever you're at. There's a saying that goes something on the lines of, if it's worth doing, then it's worth doing badly until you found out and figured out how to do it right. I'm not perfect with these videos. There are people who are much better at doing these videos than me. But I'm doing the best that I can, and I'm learning and I'm improving and I'm trying to better myself. That's all I can do. And that's where I encourage you to start. So I hope that has helped you. I hope that has added some value to your life. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to help me hit my goal of 1,000 subscribers by June. Remember to like the video because it helps the algorithms as well. I'd really appreciate it. But thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate it. See you soon. Bye.